Hey everyone, I'm Steve, and welcome back to the channel where we talk about the joys of stock market investing and long-term dividend gain. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Guys, I want to talk a little bit about the upcoming week. We have some earnings coming up with companies like PepsiCo, Domino's Pizza, JP Morgan Chase, a couple other banks, Wells Fargo and such like that, and a lot of other stocks, of note. But I want to slow things down a little bit. And what I mean is, in this video, I want to talk a little bit about, just slowing down on buying, some stocks. Because last week, with what Fed Governor Lisa Cook said, and, the jobs report, and then we got the CPI numbers coming up this week. I think it's Wednesday. I'm not sure. A lot is going to be telling us about the next rate hike with the Fed. Now, true indeed, I make videos about stocks I like and stocks I have recently bought. And a lot of other YouTubers. But I want to be serious about one thing today with you guys. As far as me and what I'll be doing. I will be, from this moment on until further notice, I will be still dollar cost averaging. I will still be putting money into my portfolio. My portfolio account. But as far as going out and buying massive purchases on certain stocks, I'm going to refrain from that. And I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm going to explain why I've done it. And maybe some of you have like-minded like me, and this will make sense to you. Now, first thing is, and this is just my opinion, guys, don't tear me apart. I think that the stagflation situation could be real, and it could be forthcoming. Because, if we look back at a lot of stuff, like when COVID came and they were giving out money, and then, all this stimulus stuff that, the president and stuff was giving out, is part of the reason, we're in this position. Now, it's not all this. I think this goes all the way back to when Trump was in office, too. Now, I'm not a political genius or anything like that, but these, you got people that look at the stats all the time and see that inflation has been rising, and now it's got out of control. What was it, like 8.3%? And then now it has to get all the way down to 2%. That's a long, long fall. And a lot of bloodshed is going to happen. I shouldn't use that word, but in the market, we're going to have a lot of falls. We're going to have a lot of bad earnings reports. And that's one of the reasons why I think I'm going to stop buying right now. If we look at it, and like I said, the stagflation could be a real reality. And like a lot of people don't even know what stagflation is. Stagflation is when, like Lisa Cook said, that they want to make sure that inflation doesn't get entrenched. If inflation is like entrenched, what that means is it gets stuck at a certain position and it's hard to get down. That's what they would call stagflation, from my understanding. It's basically the inflationary period, it just stays up high while the economic conditions remain low. So that's the ultimate goal of where they're trying not to have that happen. So, like they said, we're going to use restrictive policy. Restrictive policy means by any means necessary, we're going to get this thing to start coming down and get it back to 2%. Now, we see it in the stores. Some of the prices of things are starting to go up. Inflation's continuing rising. In California, I read an article that the gas prices done went back up. So this thing affects everybody. Like I said, they're going to be using restrictive policies. So what I'm going to be doing in the market is this. And it's something I'm going to reiterate to you guys. And it's going to be all over the place, so just bear with me, okay? Because I got a lot running through my mind. The first thing, you want to stay rational. Only deal with companies that you know about. Don't feel as though everybody's buying, you got to buy. Think long term. Like my channel's about long-term dividend investing. And my journey so far in buying and holding stocks from 7 years ago, and the great output that I've gone through. This is a new situation for me, like it's a new situation for some of you guys of what's going on in the market. But you want to be smart. Like they said, Warren Buffett said, the first rule of money is don't lose it. And I'm trying to not to lose no money at all. And I know you guys are too. Point three that I'm dealing with. high quality stock assets. You know, only deal with high quality assets in your stocks. You know, and I'm gonna do that for the next 1 to 3 years, most likely. I mean, until this thing positively turns green and gets to running. You know, I mean, I've made some purchases in the last few months to prepare myself for the bull run. And you hear me say this in my videos a lot. Hey, you know, prepare yourself for the bull run, prepare yourself for the bull run. And that's true. And I want you to stick to that strategy like I'm sticking to it. You know, I wouldn't deter anybody from that. But the thing is this, with all of these earnings calls and all of this uncertainty in the market, you know, we're going to be getting a lot of deals falling right in our laps. They're going to be falling right in your lap. And all it's going to take is a little bit of patience. Because remember, 1 to 2 years, you know, Fed Chair Powell even said that this thing going to last, you know. And as I'm learning about inflation and, you know, the whole situation, because I mean, it's a learning experience for me too. You know, I never had to really pay attention to that until I had high volumes of money in the market. So it's amazing how when you get some assets and you don't want to lose them, you learn real quick. And if you don't, and you lose money, you definitely gonna learn real quick. But I think it's beneficial to step back a little bit. You know, for me, step back and, you know, review my portfolio. You know, and I hope you guys are doing that too. You're not just buying stocks because you think they're low, or, you know, you're listening to talking heads on TV and hearing what they say. And that's another thing too. You got to understand something. These people that are on TV, it's their job, especially sometimes the market be dull. And they have to have topics to talk about and think about. And a lot of those people have influence from Wall Street to talk about stocks in a certain way. So you can't always go by what you hear. You have to decipher yourself through a lot of the BS that's being said on TV. Like I said, you can hear it, but don't listen to it. You know, and I'm not discrediting anybody on TV because they have a job to do too. But you got to remember, dealing back with this inflation, they got a job to do too. And then their job is they're going to get this thing down. Now, getting back to what I was talking about, like I said, it's beneficial to step back a little bit. You know, review your portfolio. See what direction you want to go in, because, I mean, it's going to be a huge wealth transfer, and you're going to be a part of it if you invest it and you do it right. You know, everybody's gains are going to be different, but there will be gains if you use patience. You be safe, you be smart, you be rational. You know, don't just deal with companies that you love. Deal with a company that you understand and you see where it's going and it has a future. You know, meaning like it's going to be around in the long run. Something that has a moat around it. Something that differentiates it from anybody else, to where they have to catch up with the technology or something that differentiates this company and makes it special. You know, in the future, these kind of companies you want to deal with. Don't feel like you got to buy something right now. You know, no matter if I make a video about a stock that I'm thinking about buying in the future, or I just bought, you know, I have a certain strategy, you know, and somebody else may have a certain strategy. So the excitement they might be experiencing, they, you know, you'll hear something about why they brought it, but you won't know the whole story because you can't sum it up all up in one video, or you can't sum it up all in what you see on TV. You know, so somebody else's excitement a lot of times don't feed into that. You have your own watch list, you have everything else, and you're looking forward to building your own future. Now, you can feed into somebody else's enthusiasm, but you have to be smart when making that stock right for you. Like I said, focus on companies you understand. Don't feel like you got to buy something. You know, no matter what videos are made, you're like, if I make a video or something like that, I mean, yeah, true enough, it's entertaining and you can get something out of it, but my plan is not fully explained, you know, because it would take longer than, you know, 10, 12 minutes or whenever we film these videos to explain everything. So guys, I just wanted to say, I mean, it's Sunday afternoon. I just want to say a little bit of a warning. You know, it's a lot of head scratching in back rooms right now when it comes to the Fed and what they're going to do with this thing, you know, with this situation. And it's a lot of money that's going to be lost in the market, and it's going to be a lot of money that's gained. And hopefully it'll be gained by you, the viewer, because you're making the right decisions. You have your watch list and you're being rational. You know, don't feel as though you got to take a gamble. These prices are going to continue to fall. So if you see a couple of green days, you see a week of green, you know, there are people out there, day traders, institutional investors and stuff like that, that have the market jumping up and down. It don't have nothing to do with you or your plan. Until this inflation is down, it's going to be a lot of crazy periods. So you remember that. So during this time, what you could be doing, you know, like I'm doing, is learning more about inflation, learning more about how, you know, the stock market is infected by this, and amongst other things. And bottom line, guys, man, I mean, I don't want to see nobody lose money. And anybody that watches my channel, I want you to get a little bit of something out of it. And, you know, as I grow in my financial future, hopefully you guys can too, you know. And that's basically it. I mean, but this is some serious stuff, people. And as of now, I'm going to sit back, check my portfolio, make sure I'm going to go in the direction. I'm going to have my watch list of the stocks that I like, you know, while dollar cost averaging into some of the stocks that I have already, you know, my big blue chip stocks. And that's another thing. Blue chip stocks, man. Stocks that, you know, got good fundamentals and they've been around for a long time and are in demand. Those are the ones you want to look at first, because, you know, you can't go wrong with that. Another thing is your ETFs. Make sure your ETFs are up to par, you know. So, guys, that's all I'm going to say. Sunday afternoon. I didn't do a video yesterday because it was National Octopus Day and I was celebrating. And the way I celebrated was I went and had some in my, what was that dish? I ain't never had that dish before. It was, I don't want to say polenta. It was something where it was a rice dish. Paella, that's what it was at a restaurant I was at. It had octopus in it. So I celebrated by eating some. But anyway, as always, man, leave me a comment. I know the joke was corny. I don't want to hear that. But as always, man, comment, subscribe. The subscriptions have been going up. I appreciate everybody's support and showing love, man. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and take care. Thank you.